everyone, so welcome to another pregnancy update. My last update took you to week 18, so we're going to do the next few weeks after that update. So from week 18 to week 20, 21-ish, I feel like we'll keep these kind of short and not kind of overload these videos. So I talked about, symptoms and gender and all that kind of stuff in my last video. So this one I wanted to talk about just some new symptoms that have come up, which are to be expected for me because this pregnancy, as I've said before, from the very beginning has been almost an exact mirror copy of my pregnancy with my daughter Everly, which is why I have this gut feeling it's a girl. And some of my family thinks it's a boy based off of the way I'm carrying, but I think it's a girl. I have this feeling it's a girl. So, speaking of gender, we do know. Yes, I'm so excited. I have to find a way to share it with you guys and how I can incorporate my two kids. I have a 7-year-old and an 18-month-old. And I just thought it would be kind of cute to find a way to incorporate them into the gender reveal and make just a very quick, short, and sweet video to share it with you guys because I did that with my daughter and I was just so excited because my son was able to do the gender reveal. So what we did for my daughter is that I wore a white tank top and I got pink paint, and my son took his hands and put it into the paint and put handprints on my belly or on the shirt that I was wearing, and I did it in black and white, and then I kind of transferred it into color so that you guys could see that it was a girl. And so now I have my daughter, and so I want to find a way to incorporate a toddler somehow into the video if she cooperates, if she's not having one of her tantrums or her moods, which is typical, but I really want to incorporate the kids. So if you have any ideas of how to do a gender reveal with a toddler and a young child, let me know. Give me some ideas. I'm kind of coming up with some things, but hopefully soon I can do that video and share that with you guys. As far as symptoms, a few new ones. My left eye is twitching, which it happens just very random. And there's times where it's just here and there, and then there's times where I feel like it's more. I don't know if it's more when I'm on the computer doing editing and work, or my phone just kind of browsing and being on there, that it triggers it to be more intense or just happens more throughout the day. But that was something I had with my daughter, and it was the same eye, the left eye. I don't know. It has a mind of its own, so it'll twitch here and there, and it's annoying, I will say, but it's something that I had through the rest of my pregnancy, and it started about kind of halfway with my daughter, and it lasted until I delivered, and then shortly after that, it kind of just went away. So it's just like a spasm that my eye is having. But it is what it is. It's something that I experienced before. It's kind of weird. It's bizarre. It's a weird pregnancy symptom. I don't know if anybody else has had that before, but the eye twitching, it's happened a few times since I've been sitting here talking with you, and I don't know if you can tell, but it is there, and it kind of bothers me, and it's a subtle kind of twitch. So thankfully it's not like my eyes going all crazy, because that would be kind of hard to control and kind of keep a straight face with that. I think my kids would think I'm weird. So that's a new symptom. The other thing is heartburn. I had crazy heartburn with my daughter. It was like breathing fire all day long. At first, it started off like it is this time around. Just certain things would trigger it, like onions and garlic with her. This time, the first time that it hit me was ironically eating pasta with tons of fresh garlic. My husband made some spaghetti pasta, homemade sauce with some chicken, and he took a bunch of garlic and put it into a food processor and made like a garlic paste to season the chicken and make a sauce, and it was like very garlicky, but we love garlic. And I swear, I smell like garlic. It just comes out of my pores. I eat garlic so much. I put it in everything that I cook for dinner, and he did a lot, and it was delicious. But as soon as I finished eating it, I started feeling that kind of heartburn sensation happening in my throat. I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, here we go. And then ever since then, it has been happening on a regular basis. And it typically happens after dinner. I don't know if because dinner has the most flavor, the most ingredients, the most spice in it, versus my lunch and my breakfast. It's pretty, I wouldn't say bland, but not as intense in flavor as like dinner. Like last night we had I feel like I'm just bringing this onto myself. Last night I made ground chicken and I seasoned it with taco seasoning. And of course, taco seasoning has a little bit of a little kick. It's not super spicy, but if you use taco seasoning packets, you know what I'm talking about. And as I'm eating it, it just instantly kicked in that heartburn. So that was, I should have known that was going to happen. And I'm starting to feel just a little bit as I'm talking to you right now. And I haven't really had much besides breakfast. So I feel like it's starting to creep up, the heartburn, certain things. Like yesterday was waffles. I ate plain Eggo waffles as a quick snack because I'm chasing after this 18-month-old that's giving me a run for my money. And I'm like, I need a snack. I need something. Let me just put some plain waffles into the toaster oven and I can eat those while I'm walking behind her. After I ate them, I got the heartburn again. So I'm just like, what the heck? So right now it's kind of one of those things where I don't know exactly what's going to be triggering it because it's been happening with just random things. It's garlic. It's, drinking too much lemon water or, eating tacos or plain buttermilk waffles. Like, what? But there is an old wives' tale that says that if you have a lot of heartburn, you're going to give birth to a hairy baby. And my daughter was hairy. She had a lot of hair. Even though she was born 4 or 5 weeks early, she had a lot of hair. And she has so much hair now. And I feel like this baby's going to be the same, whether it's a boy or a girl. I feel like he or she's going to have a lot of hair, and I'm just like, it's fine. It's kind of annoying. I don't know if there's anything I can take for it, but it's kind of bothersome when I get to that point where it's all day long and I'm breathing fire, and it's like as intense as it can possibly get for a human being, and it's just like nothing seems to work as far as like water, or I've read that you can drink milk, which I find that so disgusting to drink whole milk. That can help with that. But the heartburn thing is just, I know it's going to get worse, and it's going to happen. So it is what it is. I don't take anything for it, and I think that's kind of the direction that I was going in before I had like just this blank mind, was that when I got sick around the halfway point with my daughter, I just kind of pushed through it, and I was miserable for weeks, even though I called labor and delivery and they said I could take, it was some sort of cold medicine, but it was a specific ingredient and it was a single ingredient. It couldn't be like a cocktail of different things, like a nasal decongestant and, this or that mixed in with the cough medicine. It had to just be cough medicine and that's it, which can be kind of hard to find, and that's why I just don't even take anything. So I'm not addressing the heartburn with any over-the-counter stuff. And if I mention it at my next appointment, which I do have one coming up, probably after I post this video, I'll have gone to that appointment. I'm not going to take anything for it. I'm just going to kind of push through it because I don't like taking medication, period, even when I'm not pregnant. I just kind of like to kind of push through it until I can no longer physically take it. But I know it's a very short-lived time frame that I have dealing with this symptom. So it is what it is. I'm just hoping for a hairy baby that has lots of hair. Which I'm pretty sure, because I was a hairy baby when I was born. My daughter was, my son was super hairy. So it's going to happen, I feel. It's going to be so cute. I can't wait. So those are the major symptoms. I did mention in my earlier updates that I couldn't even drink plain water. And so I have been doing a lot of lemon water. The kids love it. I get my pitcher, fill it up with water, put some fresh lemon slices in there. I have been able to drink plain bottled water, and I'm perfectly fine. Look at that. I can drink regular water and feel okay and not feel like I'm going to throw up on everybody, which is so gross. But to me, that's kind of exciting because I don't want to have to add additives to my water or rely on sparkling water, because I have blown through so many cases of sparkling water that we get at Sam's Club or Costco, because I cannot stand the sight of regular water. But now it's okay. I can drink plain water with or without ice and be perfectly fine. So that's a win. Thumbs up for me, because I'm happy about that, because I need a lot of water. And so going back to the anatomy scan, I mentioned that I was going to have one done in my last update. So I did have that. And they usually do that around the 20-week mark. Mine was a little bit after, just because of scheduling. It's kind of hard to get in exactly when I turn a certain point in pregnancy. Like they do the anatomy scans usually at 20 weeks. But I don't know if it's because of the COVID thing or just because they have a lot of patients at the clinic. It's just been a little bit kind of hard. So mine was just a little bit after the 20-week mark. So they took a lot of photos of the baby. And everything anatomy-wise looks good. There was 2 things that kind of came up that we're going to kind of monitor, and then I have to go back. The first one was that they noticed that there was fluid, a small amount of fluid around the left ventricle side of the baby's heart. So we have to go back and check to see if the fluid is still there or if it's increased. I'm hoping that it has gone away because it shouldn't really be there. It's a very small amount. I think the doctor's nurse said to me over the phone that it was about 2 millimeters worth of fluid. So 2 millimeters doesn't seem like a lot, but it shouldn't be there. And I am kind of concerned because it's the baby's heart. That's a major organ, and I'm, hoping and praying that when I go back in about, they said 3 to 4 weeks to redo the ultrasound. I'm not sure if they're going to redo the whole anatomy scan, start to finish, or just focus on those parts that they are kind of wondering and wanting a second opinion or second look at, which that's what I think it's going to be. I think they're just going to be really quick, look at the heart, and then the second thing, and then send me on my way and then call me with the results. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed and praying, that the fluid around the baby's heart is gone by the time I get to my next ultrasound or redo the ultrasound, which, it's just something that I'm kind of worried about because I've never had issues with the anatomy scans with either of my 2 kids, and everything has always been good. But when they say, okay, there's something around the heart, you kind of you take that step back and you're just like, whoa, and so I'm trying not to get overworked by it. I'm trying to just put it in God's hands and just hope that everything turns out fine. But as far as the heart and everything, the blood flow, everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be, except for the fluid that's around the left ventricle side. So we'll see. They say that sometimes that does go away. Most likely it will, so not to worry too much. They were kind of vague over the phone. I think they do that on purpose so that I don't freak out, or the patients don't freak out, because it doesn't really help the situation. It doesn't make it go away if I start freaking out and screaming and yelling or crying my eyes out. It's not going to change what's going on. So I'm trying to just kind of keep it together and put it in God's hands. And the second thing is that they said that there was the sound waves from the ultrasound were bouncing off of the baby's kidneys a little more than it should have. So she kind of said some kind of medical terms and kind of went off, and she was speaking so fast. I'm like, can you repeat everything? So it's the whole sound wave thing bouncing off the kidneys. I think there's more to that than just what I'm telling you, but that's all I could get from her because it was just so quick. I don't know if she had other patients or other phone calls to make. I don't know what it was, but that's the other thing that they're going to look at is the baby's kidneys to make sure that it's okay. And hopefully those 2 things kind of resolve itself, and that hopefully the sound waves bouncing too much off of the kidneys is just, as the nurse said, could be the technique or just could be the day, the tech working and trying to get the images. It could have just been that and nothing significant as far as something to worry about. So I will keep you guys posted on that on my next update and see, because by the time I do my next update, I will have already done my second scan to look at those issues. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that I can give you guys some more positive information on that in the next update. And then my blood work. I did some blood work for Down syndrome, so genetic testing. They took a bunch of blood this time around. And I thought that I'd have the results back, but they're kind of taking a little longer. That appointment was pretty recent when I did that, the blood work. So I'm not sure why it's taking so long. I thought I would have my results within a few business days, but again, that's something that's going to have to be in the next update. Same thing with my bile acid levels. I'm still waiting to get a call back to see what my levels are because I had cholestasis of pregnancy with my daughter. And so you have to do certain things for the remainder of the pregnancy, and you have to deliver by a certain point at 37 weeks. So that puts me in February, which is really not that far away, and I'm kind of anxious to know, and so I can kind of mentally start preparing myself for a February delivery and start actually getting things going. If it's a boy, I'm going to have to buy everything from scratch. If it's a girl, I have all of my daughter's things that I can pass down, so it won't be as crazy shopping if it's a girl. But if it's a boy, I have to buy everything because I have nothing. My son is almost 8, so I kept just very minor things of his, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to be able to use those things. I'm trying not to trip myself and kind of say the gender. I'm trying to kind of keep it kind of vague because I don't want to I don't want to spoil it too soon. But if my bile acid levels are anything above a 10, then I can already prepare for a delivery in February. So that will put me much earlier. They usually will schedule an induction 4 to 5 weeks before my due date, so that puts me pretty early in February. And we're already in November. The next thing I know, I'm going to be buying Christmas gifts and then preparing myself mentally and physically to give birth again for the third time. And so I thought I'd have those results for this video, and apparently, again, no. She said they're going to mail me my results, which is weird because they didn't do that last time with my daughter. I mean, she was born last year, so I don't know if they just changed how it is or if they just rather mail you the results instead of having you come in because of COVID. I have no idea, but I thought that by now I'd have the results because we're due for an update here on the channel, and I don't have the update for the blood work, so I'm just hoping that my levels are not high. I just hope that the itching is just related to pregnancy and that it's not a diagnosis of something. So far that is it. Those are my new symptoms. I will insert a screenshot of the belly so you guys can see what it looks like now. Of course, this belly is larger than it's been. It's continuously getting bigger. Oh, and the movements have gotten a lot stronger. You can actually see them. If I'm sitting still, you can see the movements, whether it's the baby's hand, elbow, legs, headbutting, whatever it is, you can actually see it through my clothes. And if my son or my husband puts his hand on my belly, you can actually feel that. So that's huge, and that is so great because I feel like the baby moves a lot more than it did before. So that's all good things, all good things. Who knows who that is? My kids have me saying that. It's just driving me crazy. We watch those movies so often. I should say my daughter watches those movies so often because she loves the movies. But let me know if you know who that is in the comments. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for being here and for being along with the journey. I hope that you found this helpful, and just thank you for spending some time here with me today. Thank you for even caring about me and my pregnancy and my family. It just means everything to me, and it gives me all the feels. So thank you so much for being here, for being you. Stay tuned for the next update. I will keep you guys posted on these things, and I'll see you in my next video.